Finally, we see you in real life, huh?
I
Been
know
running
it's kind of
forever.
crazy. It's been
Okay.
like what, a year, over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we're live. This is Brienne. We're gonna be typing her today. Finally, she's been scared to get on camera for like I don't know how long now,
My
but
entire life.
the entire life. Okay. So, well, let's get into it. Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Brianna. Do you want me to say anything specific or is that it?
Nah. I mean, you just introduce yourself. I mean,
Okay.
uh,
Well,
what?
you can call me Bree. That's usually what I go by.
Um. So, how was your childhood? Tell us whatever
Um,
you feel is relevant. You don't have to tell us anything that you don't want to.
yeah, so in my childhood, I initially looking back, like we had a ton of fun. My mom was an ESFP. We were always doing something. It was it was exciting for me personally. I never seen anything wrong with it until I got older and I'm like, okay, we've moved over 10 different times and it's just not it didn't seem normal to what everyone else around me was doing. So I really evaluated that as I got older. Um, but so my home life specifically, I had three sisters who were also living with me. So it was my mom and my three other sisters. So there was five females in the household. That was an interesting dynamic to say the least. But my little sisters growing up, I wouldn't say we had a close relationship. I would say that it was more my sister who is 1 year younger than me. She was more close to them than I was, but as we got older, it flipped. Now I'm more closer, and my second oldest sister, I don't really speak to her much. We kind of had a bad relationship, but yeah. My grandfather was my father figure. He taught me really almost everything that I know about like hunting, fishing, anything mechanical, anything to do with outdoors. Like he was the one who really brought that element into my life.
What is a skill you think everybody should know?
That is an interesting question. Um, hmm. Wow, I've never been asked that question before. A
Oh,
skill that everyone should know. I would say being able to have self-awareness of yourself and everyone around you. I think that's really important in almost every aspect of life, whether that be professional or personal. I think that's really important.
um, yeah. So if you had three wishes, what would you wish for and why?
Um, hmm. My first wish would probably be that there was no societal bounds in life whatsoever, that we were just completely free to make whatever decision and choice we wanted to, no matter what other people say. Rules didn't really apply. It was just you and your life. I would say that would be my number one wish is just ultimate freedom, which is kind of ironic. Um, my second wish would probably be to completely heal the traumas that I've dealt with throughout my life and be I wouldn't say I would get rid of my traumas, but I would say I wish that I could heal them in a way that was so I could operate to my most ultimate self. My third wish, does it have to be like realistic or can it be non-realistic as
You can
well?
do whatever you want. Is your wish.
Um, I would say my third one would be able to like teleport wherever I would want to, no matter when, where, how, just teleport countries.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Just to travel and have that experience where I could just like, oh, I want to go to Mexico today and go hiking in the forest and just teleport there and have that experience.
Mm-hmm. Do you find yourself enjoying to? Do you go on trips by yourself?
Yeah, I do often actually. I go to Michigan. I'm in Indiana right now, but yeah, I enjoy hiking in Michigan the most.
Wow, okay. That's yeah. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Not here in Indiana, that's for sure. I'm probably
Did you
going
just
to,
wait? Did you just buy a house?
yeah, I was about to get to it. So probably not here in Indiana. I think that I bought this house. It was more so a fixer-upper than anything else. It was a goal of mine for a long time. I really wanted to buy a fixer-upper and to see what I could do personally to the house. And I'm still doing that, and that's going to take a long time. But yeah, I'm not going to be here in Indiana. Job-wise, career-wise, I'm not sure that that whole topic is complex for me in itself. I really want to find something that I don't want to be tied down to like, oh, I'm going to stay at this company for my entire life. I just have never agreed with that. I think that that's also another societal standard that I don't really want to apply in my life. I tried it and it's just not something that fits me. So career-wise, I'm not sure, but locational wise, it's definitely not going to be here in Indiana.
Okay.
Other than that, I have no idea. I don't really plan like that. So,
if we fast forward your life to 100, what would be something you said you missed out on?
oh, what I missed out on.
Or what would you regret?
Yeah, good.
I don't really regret much in my life. Like, even if I make a bad decision, I don't really have those strong regrets that people have, whether that be like a relationship choice or career choice. I would say if there was one thing that I had to choose, it would probably be like letting my emotional state determine my happiness. I would say that I'm still in the process of trying to help myself emotionally. So looking back or looking forward, I would probably say that might be something that I evaluate and not like necessarily.
Okay. So what do you think is something that has cost you the most? Something that you've done that has caused you the most hardship.
Something that I
Self-inflicted.
caused myself hardship or somebody else?
No, self-inflicted.
Self-inflicted?
Mm-hmm.
I would probably say my so when I think of something and I want to do something, I like go make that happen. I go do it. Whether that's like in the state of happiness or in a state of anger or sadness, or I would say how quick I am to just like go there, go here, go there, and make these huge life changes without thinking about the repercussions or how that's going to affect me short term or long term. I would say that would be the thing that I've self-inflicted on myself that has caused me hardship.
Okay. So like not considering consequences, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is an ESTP thing to do, I know.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I know. You guys are looking at me like, what the heck?
Yeah, you're kind of like, yo, we got to go through a due process here. We know you don't care about systems, but we actually do. So we're going to force your ass into a system here.
I'm ready, okay? I'm here.
Let's see.
How'd you get along with your mother? Like, how is your relationship, or how is your relationship?
So my mom passed away last March from cancer. But do you want a specific time period or like my adult?
Either or both, or whatever you feel comfortable talking about.
So my adult life, I would say, like, when she was diagnosed with cancer back in 2017, I really started to reevaluate. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about that right now, but
You're good.
I don't want to go in depth, but I'll just do some surface level comments. Growing up, my relationship with her, she was very emotionally supportive, and she was just very supportive of me. So I treasured that within her as a person. And I would say that was probably my favorite thing about her, is she unconditionally loved me. And I'm not sure if I'm ever going to experience that again, but that made me treasure her as a person. During my teenage years, it was really hard because she was very driven by her emotions. And I think that she went to other sides of her mind, and she was very authoritarian, and that created hardship for her and I's relationship. She was she could be very controlling at times, but when she got diagnosed with cancer in 2017, I just started reevaluating myself and how our relationship was, and I was like, you know what, I need to accept my mom for whatever she is with all her flaws. And once I started doing that, like, our relationship flourished. But I wouldn't say that we were necessarily like super close, and I think that resulted in we were really close, yes, but there's some type of gap there because she also was very like pragmatic, and I'm also very pragmatic. So I think that her also giving me the freedom to do whatever I wanted resulted in some type of disconnect between the both of us. But it's kind of complex to explain, but yeah. Overall, it was a good relationship.
Yeah, I'm sorry that she passed away.
Thanks.
I know it's not easy. I lost my father a few years back, and I know it's really tough. So
Yeah, it really fucks you up.
Yeah.
And it's hard to recover from that, but
yeah.
just keep on going, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, what's if we were going to start a business, what would be the best asset you have?
Getting the job done. Like, somebody's like, hey, can you go do that? I'm like, sure, go do it, come back, what's next? I don't know what specifically that would be, or
That's
how
outcome
to...
as fuck.
Huh?
That's outcome as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's outcome as fuck. Okay.
It's kind of crazy that you are able to point it out so easily. I don't know why I doubt myself in that manner. Like, why I'm like, I look at something and I'm like, that's that. But you're like, this is what it is. And I'm like, I don't know how you come to those conclusions so easily.
I mean, it's just I've been doing this a while now. I mean, it just gets easier and easier. I mean, at this point, it's like on auto. Let's keep going here. What is something you like about the group and something you hate? Let's go.
Oh, love this question.
Yeah, we got you off base here.
Yes. Something I love about the group is that you can actually explore a thought process, and there's so many different people contributing to that thought process, and I really enjoy that aspect of how open it is. Mm-hmm. And I could really like post really deep things, and I don't feel like it's volatile. I don't feel like I'm going to get attacked. I feel like people are actually considerate and want to help and just provide feedback. I really like that. I would say the one thing that I don't like is that I know that when people are involved, there is going to be inherent drama, but I hate drama. I cannot.
Chaos.
I just don't want to be involved in that. And so I would say that would be I think the moderators and you, Mercer, your guys are getting a lot better at like cutting that off super early before it happens. But I don't like that. I think it's the ability that people don't have to like talk through their problems in a civilized manner to result in like everyone wants the same outcome of like we all want to get along and improve. Some people just like get so caught up in it. That's hard for me.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely the chaos.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like chaos either. Like if you ever want me to do something, just like make a shitload of chaos. Like, and it will like. I've fucking seen Cynthia do that shit to me. She knows how to make me do something. She'll just make a whole bunch of chaos, and it's like I have to do something because the fucking chaos is driving me nuts. She knows how to do that shit to me.
Cynthia is very intelligent. She knows quite a bit.
What's something you like about typology and something you don't like?
Something I like about typology is that there is just continuous new information. I would say like new information in terms of new discoveries and how to analyze different functions. I like that. And I like that it's a field that it seems like it's in its infancy still, but I think that there's so many ways that it can be implemented in society and business and everyone's personal lives. I really like that aspect. I don't like that people take a type and they're like, this type is this and that's it. Like there's no variation, there's no color of type, there's no like shades of an ESTP. I was watching a panel. I think it's Joyce Meng. She has like an ESTP video where there's like 5 in there, and each one of them, they had different characteristics and different personalities, but when they got to talking, I could really pick up on, oh, this person's an ESTP. But I just don't like that. It's like they put you, I know this term's used a lot, but they put you in a box, and I don't like that.
Or the stereotyping, where they expect you to fit this stereotype, and if you don't fit the stereotype, then you must not be that type.
Right.
That's definitely one of the things that I find most annoying as well.
And it's like, and someone meets you for the first time and they're like, you tell them your type and they're like, oh no, you're this, or you know, you're this. I'm like, how do you come up with that so quickly and you don't know the person? I don't know. It's just,
Well, yeah.
It's frustrating.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. Why did you think you were ISTP?
Okay, so my last post that I posted, I think it was my last one about being introverted. I have so many introverted traits and it's so hard to ignore. And for me to think, hey, like I'm for sure an ESTP, it's hard because of that, because I can be so introverted. Like this weekend, for instance, all I'm going to do is spend the weekend by myself with my animals and Tyler, and that's fine. Like I don't really want to go hang out with people. I don't really want to go do anything, especially being around people all week at work. Like I don't know, I don't enjoy the things that typical extroverted people enjoy.
Okay. Yeah. So, hey, how you guys feeling?
Pretty good. I'm just curious, but before in answer to the genie question, I think you said you wouldn't not want to have the traumas that you had, but you want to heal from them. But why is it that you wouldn't want, like, I don't remember exactly how you worded it, but you said I wouldn't change the fact that I had them. So why is that?
I would say my trauma has really helped me. I don't know how to specifically say it. My trauma has really helped me be a resilient person and a very strong-minded person. And without those, I wouldn't be able to deal with a lot of the trials that life has, all the hardships that life has. The things that people get upset about or easily affected by in life, I see them as a very small thing, and I'm able to get through it more than other people would get through it if they didn't have the trauma, right? So, yeah, it's, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, no, that was a good answer. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's just interesting because like I completely understand your outlook and it makes perfect sense, but I guess looking back, I have a different outlook. Like when it comes to like traumas or bad things that have happened, I kind of wish that I that they just didn't happen. Like
What?
I just, I guess just because of my lack of connection to introverted sensing, like I guess I don't, like I understand where you're coming from, where you think it makes you stronger and it makes you better able to handle like the challenges that are ahead of you. But I think maybe I have the outlook that, you know, at the end of the day, I can get through any challenge. It doesn't matter what, I can get through it. I don't necessarily need to go through hardship in order to get through something harder. I think I could just get through it no matter what. And maybe that's like arrogance or whatever you want to call it, or maybe it's naivety, but I guess that's just kind of my outlook.
Yeah. Do you think that your trauma is inhibiting more to you than it is helping?
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's inhibiting me rather than helping me become stronger or more well-rounded. And I view it as almost like it's like it tainted me. Like I could be so much better, but this and this happened, you know?
Yeah, I kind of have that with some topics in my life. There are some situations where it's like something happens and I'm like, I know I could handle this better, but I've been hurt in so many ways that this is the outcome now. So yeah, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a continuous self-healing journey, and I'm prepared for that and I'm strapped in. So it's like, okay, let's handle this as it comes. But it does, like, even though I say that the trauma has made me stronger and resilient, like it has inhibited me in some type of way, but I'm ready, like I'm willing, I want to take on that challenge, even though I want to be, I hate the term, like I want to be my best self, but I want to just make sure that I'm okay and mentally, physically, and everything in between.
Okay.
I get it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and break down what I got. So
He's
very
had enough.
early on.
I already know.
Hey, very early on, we got we crazy. We shared experience. We. So that's SENI. Wasn't normal to other people around me. That's more SENI. Free to make any decisions. That was one of your wishes. That's pragmatic. Ultimate freedom. So pragmatic again. So already we're down to SENI, pragmatic and direct. Okay. So you know what we're looking at, right? We're looking at
I already know, yeah.
we're looking at intj or STP. Okay. And then on top of that, your outcome. You even used the word outcome in the last statement you just said. You're looking at the end product. So now you're looking at an ESTP and ENTJ. And we got practically no FI or TE from you there. So that would make you an ESTP.
Wow,
I said this,
I'm so surprised.
I said this a year ago. And I said this a year ago when you first said it. Isn't that kind of crazy? I said, I mean, it's kind of funny because you did this one thing when I brought you a source and you start ripping through it. And you know who does that? It's TE Critic. TE Critic. They love just ripping through sources. Oh, you can't use that source because you don't know who motivated or who paid for this or what was their aim or they missed this part of it. I just don't want to use that information, TE Critic. But yeah. Shelly, what did you get?
Same thing. ESTP.
Yeah.
Everything you said, like you use a lot of words, but everything you say is like outcome focused.
Yeah.
It's like outcome. New word.
Yeah, and you even initiated with Thomas and started interviewing Thomas. Well, Thomas, tell me, would you say somebody's pain there? So that was initiating as well.
Went into our INFJ subconscious and started playing therapist.
Yeah.
That's so crazy that you said the INFJ thing. I think the INFJ surfaces a lot in me, especially with other people. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
Especially with what you just said. Like, yes, I needed to hear what you guys are saying right now, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're glad you finally got the courage to step up on camera. Did you see the Mega Live yesterday?
I didn't. I wasn't. No, but I wanted to go to that. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to break the ice there. I want to break the ice here. I'm going to go next month. I have it in my head. I'm going to go.
Well, it was quite a showdown if you didn't watch it.
What happened?
Cut it on at 11 minutes and just watch.
Just watch.
Cut it on at 11 minutes and just watch. Just know. Woo. 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 Huh?
A little bit.
Oh, was there drama?
What?
Huh?
Between who?
You just take a guess.
Okay.
I mean, are you even active in the group at this point? I mean, you should have noticed it already today.
I have a couple people blocked, and I'm not seeing their responses. So.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Oh, damn. Oh shit.
Yeah. So it might be those people that I'm not seeing. So, which is kind of ironic.
Well, there's stuff going down.
Yeah, well, there's a debate Friday, 4 p.m. between Dion and Katie. So
cannot wait for that.
Everybody said that. Even my brother said he's showing up for this. And my brother is like, I don't know, he's always doing some goofy shit or something. But yeah, that's
what
gonna
are
be.
they debating about? Like, is it something specific or?
I tried to get them to be more specific, but they don't want to. They basically want to talk about Dion's views on women.
And why they're wrong or right, you know.
And Shelly already said, Shelly, what'd you say?
I can't remember.
You said something about pregnant, no shoes in the kitchen. Shelly had me dying with that shit, man. I died when I saw that shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I don't really know Dion well as a person, but
gonna see what he got.
Points on women, I don't know. It's just such a topic to me. It's like, why? But I'll be there and watch it.
Hey, it's gonna be a very interesting.
Why she cares what he thinks?
Huh?
What was that?
I don't know why she cares so much what he thinks.
Exactly. Like, what does it matter? Yeah. Like, did she just
Hero.
meet him?
T.E. Hero.
There you go. That makes sense.
T.E. Hero plus that S.E. child and a little bit of F.I. is going from both of them. So it's a big clash of ideology. I just want to see what they both bring to the table because they're both two ENTJs, so this shit better be well planned out. And I want to see
what is it with you ENTJs and NTJs that always get in drama and arguments? It's like, what is it?
It's because it's too much FI. Too much FI. It's too much FI.
Yeah, you're right. It is mostly FI driven.
Yeah. It's FI driven.
Yeah.
Too much FI.
Like, what makes that like trigger though? Like, what exactly is like, okay, so I'm right, you're wrong, and the other person's like, I'm right, you're wrong. Like, what is it though? Like, why? Hey, don't
you start with me because I'll get on you when you said, I know what you're up to. And I'm like, bro, I'm not up to anything. Get your any demon the fuck out of here. You don't know what anyone's up to. I know what you're up to. Like, get out of here, any demon. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I mean, that is true. That is true.
I know what you're up to, Mercer. I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? What am I up to? Like, what is my? I know your aim here. Like, what are you talking about? So, hey, don't act like you don't get into it too.
But on some level, I just think that NTs like to argue. They like to debate. All the NTs, ENTPs, INTPs, INTJs, ENTJs. So that once they sink their teeth into something, I think it could be hard to let it go.
Yeah.
It's like because you guys want the best, like someone wants the best answer, or do you want the right answer?
I don't think. I'm gonna be honest with you. Dealing with an NTJ, I don't even think they want the right answer. They just want their answer.
Oh.
I'm just being honest with you.
Okay.
A lot of them just want their answer. Okay, they're not.
I don't know. I don't argue unless I, believe that I can back up what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's how it should be.
Hey, Dario just Dario just talked about that. Like, ENTJs will only look at one fucking side, and then they'll present an argument, and it's just.
But aren't they abstract? So to me, it's like, if they're such an abstract thinker, wouldn't they be able to see other sides of the story and not get so latched onto one side?
Not with an eye.
Not with an eye.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of like, I think what ends up happening is that ENTJs are outcome driven, so they're just looking for an outcome, which is to win, to make their FI feel good, instead of like looking at the whole process of everything. So they only gather what they need to get an outcome. If that makes sense.
So it's like a self-validation loop. It's like thought, feeling, and it's like validation. As in
like an INTJ would kind of look at both sides and come up with a lot of data behind it. Like if you notice
Thomas,
yeah. Shelly, Jordan,
true,
Cynthia, yeah. Jesus Christ, Cynthia.
The thing about INTJs though is that, especially when young and immature, and I could even be guilty of this now, is that it can be hard to even somebody shows that we're wrong. It can be hard to admit that we're wrong because we want to save face, and then we go into saving face mode rather than just being like, oh, you know what, shit, you got me on this one. Like I was wrong, because I guess we care about our reputation, and like we're trying to protect that. So yeah. Unfortunately, it happens with me sometimes, but I definitely see it with a lot of other INTJs where they just go into save face mode, save face. It's like, listen, like you're wrong. I'm demonstrating this is why you're wrong, and they just won't admit it, and it's very frustrating to deal with. And there's just you can lead a horse to water, you can't force them to drink.
Right, but as you're saying that though, like I've read some of your comments specifically, and I think you're really good at like being able to decipher the information that's given and still be open-minded. I think that you've done a lot of research and the things that you talk about, which helps in your validity. But at the same time, like I think that maybe you worked on it specifically, being more open-minded, but I've really seen that you are able to see or like pick through the data, I guess you could say. But
I think it's just being more humble, like not being so arrogant about what I know, because after you've been proven wrong so many times, I think you'll just learn like listen, I really actually don't know a whole lot, so I think I just try to approach things with a more humble perspective. So
yeah.
Love that. Everyone could use some more confidence.
I mean, it just being humble, man. It saves your ass a lot more than like jumping out there and being a little crazy.
Yeah.
Because once you jump out there and you move a little crazy, then like once you get slapped up, now your reputation is really fucked. So it's like in the beginning, if you had just been humble, you wouldn't have to be like picking yourself up from the ground. And
a big thing with me with like humbleness, I've noticed with me specifically, I try to look at myself first, like look at my flaws. And so when I look at my flaws and I'm like, okay, this is what's wrong with me. This is not what's good. This is what's good. And I'm like, if somebody were to say something to me that were incorrect, I know that it's wrong or right. Like whether that's like, they're like, hey, you're bad at this. I'm like, yeah, I actually am bad at that. I think with humbleness for me specifically, I've really tried to look inward and like, hey, like, this is my flaw. And for people, I just don't know why it's so hard to look at yourself with honesty. Like what is there, like I have an INFP coworker that I work with, and we have been in a lot of deep talks, and she really finds it hard to be really honest with herself. And I try to help her through that, and she's exposed so much to me. But I really try to help her through those moments and try to give her my perspective on like what I do. And I just like, she's like, yeah, that was a big like slap in my face. But she's like, I'm really thankful for that because it humbled me or it made me look at myself. And I don't know. I don't know why it's so hard for people to self-reflect, like, or just point out what's wrong with them and be okay with it. You know?
I think with FI users more than with TI users that it's like they have trouble admitting their faults. Like they want to see themselves as perfect. I mean, it could be hard for a lot of people. It could be hard for me. I noticed it definitely with ENFPs. I was like, it gets really annoying online where like you're like you could like point out like some kind of flaw and like they just won't accept that they're flawed. It's like not a big deal. Just own up to it, you know?
Yeah.
But I'd say with I don't know. I'm not saying that TI users don't do it, but I definitely noticed it with a FI users, they want to just look at themselves as like, oh, I'm perfect, or I'm trying to be perfect.
Yeah.
And you think that stems from FI specifically?
I think largely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the types that normally I think are the worst at it, like, also like ESTJs try to present like this perfect image, like, oh, look at me, I'm like, I'm perfect. They want it, like, my performance is toppest, is the best, or I have such a great reputation. And I think you mentioned like INFPs. Yeah, I think with INFPs it's like well, number one, they have the low TI, so I think it's hard for them to kind of like reflect in that area where they're doing analysis with TI. They can reflect on their morals, like on their feelings, but like with TI, they struggle to figure things out themselves. And then also, I think they want to view themselves like as, in some sense, kind of perfect and having a good reputation. Like Mercer did that post like I think like a couple weeks back about the fears of each type, and like the one thing it said about INFPs is like they fear like not being able to do great things in life. So like, which I think a lot of people might not realize, because INFPs they're just so behind the scenes and humble, and they often come across as just like so innocent, but deep down it's like they want to like do great things in life. And they want their opinion to be like respected.
Yeah, I've seen everything that you just mentioned. I've seen and heard. I actually shared that the post with her, just her INFP, and she was like, oh wow, like,
yeah,
like that. She's like, the line you just mentioned, she had to contemplate that and think through it or feel through it, whatever she did. And she's like, I think she said she didn't necessarily want to do great things, but she definitely didn't want to look back on her life and think that like she didn't do something. I don't know how she worded it, but she minimized the word great and replaced it with something else. I don't know, but that's very interesting.
Yeah, well, I think being TE users, they want to have some kind of achievements, if not some kind of like titles or certifications, I think. But then also because they're NFs, they're idealists, they probably want to have some kind of like positive, like meaningful impact on the world, or at least on like within their milieu. They want to have like some kind of like impact on, I guess, on people's morals or people's outlook, in the world. I've only known one or maybe two INFPs personally. I know there's an ENFP I know quite a bit better. And yeah, I think she really tries to like influence people's outlook, and she tries to spread positivity. I think mainly what she does. Like, she tries to offer people options, like, oh, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. Like she's trying to give people better futures, basically. She's trying to have that impact, but doing it like in a way that's very subtle. But I think INFPs share that to some degree.
Yes, the whole, like what you just said, I remember telling her one thing. I was like, yeah, you really helped me with this. And she started tearing up and crying. She's like, I'm so happy that I was able to do that for you. And I was like, to me, it was just like oh, I just said this thing. It was just a compliment of what I experienced. And she really internalized that as something super important to her.
Yeah, so that's even that in itself, as like minor as it may seem, like to her that's really important. Like to her, that's like she's doing something, like great with her life, that she's able to do that. So
yeah, wow, yeah.
Well, Brian, it's been wonderful.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you guys.
Are you okay with me posting this on YouTube? We don't have an ESTP on there yet.
I mean, go for it. Why not? Just do it.
All right. So hopefully we'll see you on the call next month. If I don't beat, we got 12. If I don't beat fucking 12, I'm going to turn into Dion.
Let's not do that. I'll be there, okay?
I'm going to go in the time machine and go back 5 years and turn into Dion, okay? All right. So y'all don't want to see that. Y'all make sure y'all fucking get me more than 12 people, okay?
That was enough motivation for me. I'll be there.
All right, you go. All right, take it easy.
All right, bye, guys.
See you. Thanks.
Thank you.